Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm going to do another dating website, online dating website review. I know now, first of all, those of you who follow along my rambles, every time I go on one of these dating sites, I try it out, I date a few guys, and then I'm sick of it and I quit because I'm not meeting anyone worth meeting. And so, nobody wants to get serious. I just have to accept that. I'm just going to be alone forever. I am. I'm not even sad about it anymore. I mean, it would be nice to meet someone, but forever alone. Hashtag forever alone. It's actually a hashtag because apparently there are enough people that are going to be forever alone that they created a hashtag for it. So anyway, but anyway, I'm always, after a few months of swearing off dating forever, I start to think, well, who knows, maybe just this one next swipe right will be the one. I'm always thinking, maybe, there's 1,000 bad guys, and maybe because I've given up, there's that one that is there. So I, after getting a break from the online dating, I discovered another website. It's called Bumble. And I said, all right, well, whatever. It's not going to be any worse than it's been, so I'm ready to try again. Only because I'm really not. I've sort of made attempts to meet men in other places, but it's really hard at this age to meet people. I mean, you have your job. I can't really be dating the customers that come in, the people looking for our services. If any of them even ever showed interest, which they don't. I mean, there's the UPS guy, kind of cute, but I think he's married. And I mean, you're not really exposed to people that you can really date. So, and then I'll go to the meetup groups or I joined a public radio station here in town. They have jazz concerts. So I go to those because I enjoy them. And I have a friend who's a member also, a girlfriend. So those are okay. I'm going to a self-defense class this Saturday, but it's a women's self-defense class. So and I think the teacher's a woman, so it's not gonna. So anyway, so my point is, you just don't meet people other places as easily as you can online, where you just, okay, he's kind of cute, swipe right. Within minutes, you could be chatting with the person. So it just is easier. So I went on Bumble, which is basically the same as Tinder. It's just not as well known. And the only difference with Tinder is that in this male-female search, because, you could do male-male search or female-female, or you can search for friends, maybe you just want to make platonic friends. But when you're in the male-female search, or, where heterosexual search, the woman has to write the first chat. So if you both swipe right, and you both like each other, just like Tinder, the woman has to make the first move. And it can just be a chat, just hello, and that's it. That's all you got to do. So that's been, as the same as Tinder. You swipe right on some people swipe right on you, and you get a match, and the woman has to take the extra step to say hello, and then the chat is open. So I chatted with a few people on there, and but anyway, yesterday morning I was on there. I'd swiped right on a few people, and I got a match with an older man. I saw his picture. I didn't think he was all that great looking. I didn't think he was ugly. He's 63, so for his age, he looked okay. But I thought to myself, well, I've got to not be so picky, obviously, because the pickier you are, the less chance you have of meeting someone that's going to work. So I wasn't crazy about the look. His profile was okay, what he wrote, just generic stuff. So I swiped right, and I got a match. So, okay, hello. I typed a hello to him, and I went to work. So at work, he started writing to me. Oh, hello, nice to meet you, stuff like that. And, well, so by the end of the day, I had a dental appointment. I had to, after work. And at the dental appointment, he continued chatting. And the chat was normal. The chat was like a normal chat. What can you do? You ask where the person works, what they do, those kind of things. But then, so he said, why don't we... Oh, so I suggested... Now, the reason I swiped right on him, I'll admit, I wasn't that crazy about his look. His profile was okay, but he lived in my neighborhood. I will admit it was for convenience. I thought to myself, well, if it's a match and we like each other, it's very convenient. So I overrode that I wasn't that attracted to him with the he's close by. So maybe I should make an effort because it's a convenient situation. So not the greatest reason, but so when I was in the dentist in the waiting room chatting with him, we had both noticed that we lived nearby. So I said, oh yeah, we live close by. We should get together sometime for a coffee. And then I made a joke because it's summertime and it's really hot and we're in Florida. I said an iced coffee, but still we should meet for coffee. I try to keep it light, And so he says, when and where? His response, which was kind of, I was a little bit, I'm not saying I want to sit there chatting for days and never meeting, but by the same token, I don't want to just, okay, let's meet, because when I first meet someone, I like to have a chance to go home and, well, it just kind of bothered me. When and where, like you name the day and the time. And okay, I could have said tomorrow. But all right, something in me said, well, why don't you just meet him and get it over with? See if you like him, if you don't, nothing law. I mean, I didn't really feel prepared to meet a new person right at that moment, but I said, okay, well, it is still early when I finished the dental appointment. It was just a cleaning and a checkup. I got my teeth all fixed now. Well, I still want to do some cosmetic stuff, but the serious stuff is all fixed. So after he said, okay, call me. Excuse me, he gave me a cell phone number and told me call me after your appointment. So after the appointment, I called him. I said, all right, why don't I just do this? And he said, oh, hey, what's up? I'm done with my appointment. Why don't we meet at Starbucks? So I get to Starbucks. He hadn't arrived yet because he had to leave his house to drive there, which was, not close, but not far. It was close by, but... So I went in there and I bought my iced coffee. I sat down. And, a little while later he walks in. And he looked like the picture, which, again, was not that attractive. And I didn't find him attractive in person either. And, sat down. He said, hey, hello, how are you? It was up until that point okay. It was kind of normal. But you see someone, you're just like, well, you know how attraction can grow, and it has happened to me. He said to me, like, this is kind of what bothered me also. Well, first of all, he didn't get anything for himself. I paid for my own coffee, so I wasn't doing it for a free coffee. I got there first, I bought my own. But he just sat down. He didn't get anything. So that was kind of cheapskatey, I thought, because he said, oh, I don't really want anything. I'll just sit here and chat with you. I shouldn't judge him. Maybe he was, whatever. He didn't feel like having coffee. But I don't know. For some reason, that bothered me a little bit. But then we started talking. Okay, and he said stuff and just dumb stuff. Like, oh, well, I mean, whatever. I'm still not going to judge him yet. I was sort of not feeling it, but I said, give the guy a chance. I mean, you're no gorgeous, prize either. So, let's give each other a chance. But then little small talk was okay. And then he said, what has your experience been on the dating sites? And I said, well, it's been okay. I'm meeting a lot of people, so I can't complain in that arena, but unfortunately, it appears no one wants to even give a chance for a serious relationship to develop. Obviously, I don't want a serious relationship on the first day you meet, but they don't even want to get to know you enough to even consider that it might develop into something serious. That's my honest experience. He says, "Oh, are you serious? You haven't dated a single person in 5 years?" I mean, it's sort of like twisted my words around. I said, "Of course I've dated people. I just said that." It's sort of like he wasn't even listening to me. And then he just jumped to, "Well, I've heard a woman knows from the first meeting if she wants to sleep with a guy or not." Like from the first meeting, yes, okay, I've heard that too. I don't necessarily agree with it. I've met men where I honestly didn't think I would ever feel any attraction for them romantically or physically, and get to know them, friends usually, and actually they end up starting to look hot to me, and I actually, would consider sleeping with them. So that may be true for some women, but in my case, sometimes it's true. You kind of know on the first meeting if you're going to sleep with a guy or not. But usually for me, it takes getting to know the person a little bit, talking to them, see what their opinions are and what they're like and their morals and all this other stuff. Then, of course, there are guys that are just so good looking or whatever that you think, yeah. But even so, if they're good looking, women are different. A good-looking guy doesn't mean you want to sleep with him, And an ugly guy doesn't necessarily mean that you don't think he's sexy. Like, years ago, I met this guy that was short, really unattractive. Like, the minute I met him, I thought he was ugly. And I was, like, almost regretting meeting him. And then, like, within minutes, I was, like, enthralled with him. I compared him later on, videos ago, I think it's on my other channel, I compared him to Joe Pesci, who's a particularly unattractive man physically, from the standard judgment of beauty. And he's a very sexy man. Humphrey Bogart was a very sexy, sexually attractive man. And Humphrey Bogart was not an attractive, again, stereotypical good-looking man. You don't think Humphrey Bogart suits that either. So it doesn't have to do with looks, and I didn't mean to get on a tangent, but I just wanted to clarify that. So this guy wasn't ugly, this man that I met, but just the fact that he asked that question bothered me. Just everything he did bothered me. It was starting, like, the more we talked, the more annoying he was getting for some reason, and he still hadn't even done what I'm about to tell you he did. So, God, he was such a jerk. Like within 10 minutes, I was like, get me out of here. How do I get out of here? And it just got under my skin. He was so annoying. And then he said that thing. He said, "I've heard a woman knows," just jumped to the topic. It wasn't even like there was no segue into it. And plus, there was a man sitting at the next table, a young man, he could hear everything we were saying. And I was also a little bit embarrassed, But, so, okay, I'll just get back to the story. So he says that. I've heard a woman, all right, let me just get to the story. So he says, "I've heard a woman knows from the minute she meets a man if she's going to sleep with him or not. What do you think?" And I was like, immediately I responded, "No, I don't believe that that's true, And then he says, "Well, what about me?" And he moves his chair closer. And like he might have been, I think, and I'll tell you what I think he was doing, but what do you think of me? Is there any chemistry between us? What do you think? Fat, he called me my name with a nickname that I didn't, he was such an idiot. So I said, "No, I don't feel any chemistry because, as I just told you, I need to get to know a person first and talk to him first." And he kind of was doing it jokingly, so you could say, "Oh, come on, lighten up." He was just joking. But you could tell it was one of those jokes that was kind of serious, and he was feeling me out, and it just annoyed me to no end. I was just like, so I did snap at him. I did. I said, no, I don't feel any chemistry because I just met you like 10 minutes ago. And as I just mentioned, you need to get to know someone first before you know if you're going to sleep with them or not. And I kind of said it mad, and he laughed like he was joking, like, because that's what he was doing. I know what he was doing. He was trying to pretend it was a joke because he was trying to see what my response would be. And then at another point he was telling me where he lived. Like, I didn't even ask you where you live. And he says, yes, I've got a condo over here at this location, like implying that it was nearby. And I was just like, you are so disgustingly... I didn't say that to him in my head. Because even when I'm impolite, I hold back. Like when I want to just tell someone what an idiot they are, I'm pretty good at holding back to some extent, but usually I'll let some of it out. When I just can't stand someone, it's going to come out somehow. And then he said, like, at that point, I don't even remember what he said, because everything he said annoyed me after that. Like, everything. So no matter, if he would have said black, I would have said white. If he would have said right, I would have said, like, at that point, no matter what he said, I was taking the opposite, because I just hated him. I just hated him, and I wanted him to dislike me so that he wouldn't call me again. It just... So we just, we just started, I just, it ended shortly after that because I snapped at him, and he said something political, and I immediately took the opposite side. Whether I believed it or not was irrelevant. I just made sure I took the opposite side of him so that, we wouldn't agree on anything. And then he said, oh, well, maybe we ought to. And I said, what are you talking about politics for anyway? I screamed at him. We were in the middle of Starbucks. I don't know if people were listening at that point, but I just hated this man so much. So I just, well, let's just go. I said, I'll walk you to your car, because I want to see what kind of car he has. Not that I care, but I just hated him. So he's parked a block away. I walked to his car, like, to say, okay, well, call me if you want, bye. And I turned around and I left. And then I just, and then I felt a little bit bad, Oh, I'm just such a mess. But anyway, here's the end of the story. It's still coming. So I said to myself, I can't believe what a jerk that guy was. I can't stand him. He's such an idiot. I can't believe what an asshole he was. Yes, I actually said the word. I'm sorry. I usually don't swear. I might bleep that part out. Oh, he was just... Anyway, so for some reason, I said, I'm going to look back at what he wrote to me earlier when we were chatting. And I wanted to just go over the conversation to see at what point there was any... Like, maybe I'd missed something that... Because I like to screen them before I meet them so I don't have to go through this crap. And I was planning to look through our conversation earlier where we had texted to see if I'd missed some important, clues that this guy was an idiot. But the thing is, when I went to look, I was blocked. So the conversation was gone. Apparently he blocked me, so that's good. At least there's no danger of him, reconsidering. But, oh gosh, so that's Bumble. Give it a try. I'm not telling you you're going to have much luck on there either, but... you might. I've never had luck with these stupid dating sites, and I'm probably going to quit Bumble now, too. I've been chatting with a few men on there, but, none of them has suggested meeting, and I don't know. I guess I'll just finish up with the ones that I've already connected with that we're chatting a little bit, and then I'm going to delete that from my phone, too. I've been on for about a week, so Bumble, give it a try if you want. It's like Tinder, except... If you're heterosexual, the woman has to make the first move and start the chat. Okay, bye.